Hello everyone, welcome to Therapy Art. My name is Michael and I'm a registered clinical counselor in the province of BC, Canada. Today I'm going to describe to you something called the window of tolerance. It's right over here. The window of tolerance is something that we live within every single day, meaning that we actually operate within this window of tolerance the entire portion of the day. Now, living in the window of tolerance is a very comfortable state because anxiety and depression are something that happen to everybody, right? But sometimes people often find that they can operate really normally while going through it. And when I say normally, I mean functionally. If you have anxiety or depression that's been diagnosed, that doesn't mean you're abnormal. That just means that you're operating outside of your window of tolerance. When you're operating within your window of tolerance, things are relatively comfortable. You can be faced with lots of adverse events, right? You can be faced with a lot of difficult problems, and oftentimes you can find your way in being able to manage them. This is kind of a high-low scale. When you're up here, you're feeling a little bit high. When you're down here, you're feeling a little bit low. Let's say over here you have a high-pressure situation. It could be a social event. It could be a presentation. It could be expectations that you put on yourself or other people put on you. But because you're working within your window of tolerance, you can find that you can live. And once the thing is over, you forget about it. You move on to the rest of your life. Sometimes people can also feel very low. This can be part of a breakup. This could be part of disappointments. This can also be part of expectations and not meeting those expectations for yourself. You might be able to find your way out of that as well, managing very, very effectively. This is something that takes a lot of resilience, and everybody has a very different window of tolerance. It varies based on the type of person you are. The problem is when things exit your window of tolerance, when things are outside of it. And this is usually due to things that we like to call triggers. Triggers are little things that get in our way, such as an inability to handle many of these things we've actually written here, right? Triggers are times when our window of tolerance is exited, and this is when lots of issues can sometimes happen. When we're talking up here, we're starting to think about the anxious zone, where things are very, very high. You're having trouble with sleeping. You're feeling pretty much in a fight or flight state, pretty cautious and scared consistently. You may have trouble with sleeping, resulting in you having a very hard time managing your everyday life. And then hopelessness can sometimes hit as well. Over here in the depressed zone, well, you can feel very small. You can also have low energy. You may sleep for too long, and in addition, you're just low in general. We call this the depressed zone. And in these different zones is where we have problems, right? Where we can't actually manage ourselves, where we're having truly an extremely hard time, right? So how do we solve all this doom and gloom? Well, it's very, very simple. It's employing some strategies that we can use to prevent those triggers from having such a big effect on us. Those triggers are going to affect us on a day-to-day basis. How are we going to manage them? Well, there's a number of different ways with which you can do so. Let's talk a little bit about them. In terms of strategies, you could undergo an exercise program. The endorphins, the confidence, and all of the other benefits of exercise can often greatly help. There's also changing your sleep pattern, decreasing social media use, a comprehensive stretching program, and a number of different counseling modalities that I'm going to teach you as we move on together on this channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to really focus on those. But first, you have to have an understanding of how the window of tolerance works. Really try to get an idea of when you exit it. And when you do, you add something called clarity regarding the situation. And this works directly against anxiety and depression that like to push you into a state of questioning of, am I going to live like this forever? Will I feel like this forever? Why am I the only one feeling this? How am I going to get out of it? Right? This is how we are going to focus. This is our framework. This is why you are feeling so anxious and depressed. Thank you for watching Therapy Art. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have any additional questions or you need a little bit of resources, please let me know if there's anything that you feel like I'm missing, that I'm not covering enough. And, wow, look at the mess I've made over here.